Leg 6 of Major League Jumping, and the Roadrunners putting a win together to climb up to second in the championship. A shortened version of the team competition due to the weather conditions. Niall Nasser for the Trailblazers, the big champions, getting them in the top 3. Natalie Dean for Team KPF, the home team, giving it a really good effort. But it was debutant Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla that put the Roadrunners right to the top, with Flotilla sailing away for the win. Welcome to Major League Jumping and team competition. I'd like to say a warm welcome from Monterey, but it is a little bit chilly today. Overcast, but it's certainly improving by the moment. But we're going to bring you brightness and sunshine with a team competition and a hot lineup of teams as well, Hannah. Back here in this wonderful venue of legends, who do we expect is going to be at the top of the podium this time? How's it been going?
There have been a lot of changes in the season standings in recent weeks. Of course, the Trelawney Trailblazers have always been strong and they are the team at the top of things. But two big stories are the Roadrunners, who've leapfrogged up from 5th place into 2nd place following that win in Greenwich, as well as Team KPF, who've gone from 8th place into 5th place, that being off the back of their win in Traverse City. Absolutely, that brilliant result for Kathleen Driscoll, of course, with the Roadrunners getting it home there in Greenwich. But new faces on there, and quite literally from across the globe. We've got the teams coming in for the likes of the Crusaders, signings like Nicholas Bizarro, of course, of the local riders, but then bringing in people like Cian O'Connor, a man who's won team class after team class under the Irish flag, is a great signing for the Crusaders. Eye Candy with Matthew Sampson, already this week a winner for the British rider. Eili Mitaleneo, brilliant rider from Greece as well, onto the Eye Candy squad. And then further down, the likes of Trelawney Trailblazers with Gregory Watherley. Now, who's he? If you don't know him, he's from Belgium. He won just last week in Lyon in the World Cup qualifier. He's won the Aachen Grand Prix. He's been competing over here in Mexico in the last few weeks as well. He is a real world-class superstar. What is it going to mean for the teams? It means that a lot of these teams are really pulling out all the stops with their rider lineups and with the strength of their horses as well. Another team to keep a lookout for is the Spy Coast Spies. They bring forward Shane Sweetenham, of course, another recent World Cup winner. But the Spy Coast Spies are yet to finish on the podium. They're the only team so far this year to have never finished on the podium. Which is interesting because they've been so strong in the past. So what do we think that is going to mean for today? Who are we going to pick out as a leading team out of this group? My pick for today is Team Eye Candy. I think they've got some great riders in there, some new riders on the squad. Eye Candy have been really consistent. Of course, they won the first season of Major League Show Jumping, and I don't think they can be counted out. OK, well, the Trelawney Trailblazers may well be an obvious one to go for, but we'll see. Those new signings in here might make a difference. But again, consistency for the team also can be a big player as well. The likes of Natalie Dean on for the teams as well. Those that have competed throughout the season can also bring some great experience to this. Who's going to win here in Monterey? Well, hopefully it is going to be an exciting competition. We know we brought some amazing group of riders together for you. We look forward to it. Team class set to get underway here in Monterey. Major League Show Jumping, the team competition, round 1. How does it work? 8 teams, 3 rounds, and only 1 winner. Scoring in round 1 is based on faults and time. Faults mean a fence down. That's 4 faults for that. And individual rounds also get a time attached to it as well. So a faults and time score for each individual, but it's not an individual competition. We have 3 riders per team and all 3 scores count. The best total combined score for each team is what will determine the order from round 1, and the best 4 go through to round 2. The key is stay above the cut line. It's as simple as that to get into round 2. 4 in, 4 out. It's as simple as that. Good luck. Well, welcome to Monterrey in Mexico for this latest leg of Major League Show Jumping, and what a treat of a competition we have for you here this afternoon. You just saw the challenge that the teams had to take on in order to determine this order of go, and here we have them. The Crusaders sit in 8th place in the season standings, and they're first to go. Not a great position for them to be in, but they're going to have to go out strong from the off. Team Eye Candy will follow them in. They sit in 4th in the season standings, but they're very, very close behind 3rd place, just 1 point. So really key opportunity for them to make some headway today. Spyco Spies come in next, still looking for a podium finish. Meanwhile, the Trailblazers, the season leaders, come in 4th. Then they will be followed by last year's season champions Team Helios, with some great riders on their squad. And of course, Helios won this leg last year. The Northern Lights come in 6th place, also having a little bit of a tricky season. They sit in 7th in the season standings. Team KPF will be the penultimate team to go into the ring today, having finished 2nd in our quiz challenge the other night. They sit in 5th place at the moment. They've leapfrogged their way up from 8th, and again, key part of the season for them. They really need to get some more points to challenge those top 4, and they could well do it here today. The Roadrunners will be the final team into the ring. They come here fresh from that strong win in Greenwich, and they sit in 2nd in our season standings, having had 2 wins already so far this season. They will be the final team into the ring. They were the winners of our Family Feud style quiz the other night that you just saw there a moment ago, but with some fantastic riders and some great horses on the cards. We'll take a little look around the course though, of course, this course that's been designed by Anthony D'Ambrosio. It's the Vector Empresas Oxa to start before a 6-stride distance down to an upright at fence 2. Right-handed curve, they can take that as tight or as wide as they like, up to the Banorte upright at fence 3. It's then 6 strides down to another big Oxa at fence 4. That one's 1.50 m in width. Then it's quite a wide run then to another Banorte fence, this upright at fence 5, 1.50 m in height there. From fence 5, they then travel around in front of the VIP area to 6A and B. 1 stride in the middle of that double combination there, very much up to height again, before a quick 5 strides down to the Major League Show Jumping Oxa at fence 7, 1.55 m, that one there in width. 8A and B is the next fence, and then a quick 3 strides down to fence 9. That could catch out quite a few riders. Again, both of those fences in the double up to height at 1.50 m and 1.55 m spread on fence 9. Quick roll back then to 10A and B, the 3rd double combination on the course. Again, 1 stride in the middle of there before they would run down about 5 strides to fence 11. That's up to 1.50 m as well. The GNP Oxa at fence 12 brings us to the close of the course. Fence 12 being 1.50 m high and 1.60 m wide. So that's the way that it's looking here today in this stunning setting of Monterrey. Absolutely beautiful arena here, and the footing has just been perfect all week so far. We've had a little bit of rain, and it's a bit more of an overcast day today as well. But we'll be kicking things off by the playing of the national anthem of Mexico. Well, great to hear the Mexican national anthem at the start of this competition, and a Mexican rider will be kicking things off for us for the Crusaders. I'm joined on the stream today by Ed Holloway, and Ed and I will be taking you through this competition with the Crusaders kicking things off first. Ed, this is a leg where the Crusaders really need to pull it out of the bag. They need to get out of last place if they can.
Good afternoon, Hannah. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's demanding conditions. The backdrop, the Serra de la Silla at 1,800 metres will not be helping this man at all. He's got to have his eye on the job, Hannah. But London Olympian. This was won a 5-star recently in Otomi and San Miguel, so I'm hoping for big things for Nicolas Pizarro.
It's the first time that he's appeared on the Crusaders this season, but he did join the Crusaders as well at the second half of last season, where he jumped 75% of the time clear for the team. So he was so consistent then, and this is, it really speaks to the fact that the Crusaders are keen for some good results now, that they bring out the big guns like Nicolas Pizarro, who did so well for them last year, to try to get them some valuable points here today.
And Hannah, bearing in mind this horse is 9 years of age, son of Chaco Blue, new ride for Nicolas since just March this year. They're really forming a partnership quickly. This is impressive to get us underway.
Time allowed here is 81 seconds. Nicolas is going pretty quickly here, and the time is absolutely no problem at all. Our course designer, Anthony D'Ambrosio of the USA, giving them plenty of breathing room in terms of time, but a great way to kick things off. Nicolas Pizarro getting the clear, and nothing to add so far for the Crusaders. But remember, all three scores count in this team competition. So we have Nicolas Pizarro, Cian O'Connor and Patricio Pascal coming forward for the Crusaders, and all of their scores will count. Cian O'Connor currently just outside the world's top 100, but he is a man with a fantastic career behind him and an incredible record, and what a name to be brought to the Crusaders for this competition. Clown of Picobello Z is his ride.
Yes, and birthday boy tomorrow. He'll turn 44, so love an early birthday present this afternoon with the Crusaders. And this is the former Abdul side ride. It's another 9-year-old. So again, these damp conditions just can Cian go any quicker? It's a smaller horse relatively to the big Chaco's SM we just saw, Hannah, but would he dare turn any tighter on a 9-year-old?
Yeah, we've seen quite a few younger horses going well here earlier on in the week. This horse with Cian so far has been clear 50% of the time, but they've only had 8 starts together so far. So really a partnership that's building and building. But this horse is 62% of the time clear over 150 fences in its career. So pretty consistent, but great to see Cian O'Connor in the saddle to bring this horse even more solidly to this level.
I'm very much thinking this is about pinpoint the same time as Nicolas Pizarro, we just saw from Dublin initially. Cian, his late grandfather's Carl Mullen, the legendary Irish rugby player.
He's really racing for this
time,
final phase. Yeah, great time. 67.08 on the clock for Cian O'Connor. So we've got 2 sub-70-second rounds for the Crusaders so far. That could be crucial because we've seen teams before finish on, for example, the same score as the 4th placed team, but the 5th place team loses out on time because it is faults and time. You do need to keep the fences up. But it is on the combined time as well, and that's what you can see on your graphic on the right-hand side of your screen. That's the cumulative score and time for the team. Patricio Pascal is coming back to the team with Alicia Santa Rosa. Patricio rides as a substitute here today for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and it's just gutsy decisions from the Crusaders. 3 9-year-olds, as we say. Yes, they're regular use, Hannah, but okay, it's not top whack in terms of height tonight, or this afternoon, but there's certainly plenty to do. And this man, the CEO, he's an amateur, but a Tokyo Olympian. And let's see if the Crusaders if the local man can put the icing on the cake for their great start this afternoon.
Yeah, Patricio's such a strong rider and such a popular rider. Of course, here almost on home turf, but certainly on home turf in his home country. But great to see him coming forward for the team. Been hit with a little bit of bad luck this morning, and have had a few medical substitutions, which is something that is allowed by the FEI in these competitions. So Patricio comes forward to take the spot in the Crusaders.
I think it's a clear tactic, Hannah. It's a very obvious team decision. Just go for steady clears here. I think the damp conditions, that slightly, as we can see, soft footing under the horse's hoof print, going to make that a bit pretty an intelligent move, but will it be enough? We will see. It's going to be fascinating.
A rattle at the penultimate fence for Patricio Pascal, but this course is riding extremely well so far, and look at that time, 65.25, but 3 clears for the Crusaders. They know they've got it all to do here this week, and they know what it's going to take, but certainly 3 clears is going to put them into fantastic position at the moment. And it will be so interesting to see how this competition plays out, because it really is all about the context of how the teams perform in relation to one another. And you would have expected that first team into the ring, the Crusaders, would have benefited from watching some other teams go, but actually they don't need that. They have absolutely laid it down for the other teams to beat.
Yes, impressive stuff, and it's a great start here in Mexico. Now this lady, Hannah, we're well aware of her mettle. She was brilliant at the Riesenbeck Europeans in 2021 with Levi de Musa. 12th place individually. Oli Missolini, we welcome forward to get Eye Candy off to hopefully a great start.
Yeah, Team Eye Candy sit in 4th in the season standings. They have been really consistent. They've been in the top 4 3 times, finished on the podium twice already this year, and they won our opening leg in Vancouver. They're just 1 point behind Team Helios, who are on the 60 points in 3rd. And Helios are just 6 points behind the Roadrunners. So it's quite tight there at the top, and certainly we could see a shake-up once again. But here's the lineup for Team Eye Candy today. It's Yoli Mittelinu, Bliss Heers, and we'll have Richard Vogel coming forward with Crack HV as well here for the team. Yoli, great young rider to have on the team. She's 80th in the world rankings at the moment.
This also owned by the Elia Construction Company. Their best finish this year was at Le Sceau Hermes in Paris mid-March. That was 4th place. They've been in Mexico for the last month. They're in Coapexpan and then San Miguel de Allende to line themselves up in good order for our this afternoon's action here in Monterrey La Silla.
Yeah, this horse is really, again, a very consistent one. And is one that Yoli has competed in a number of high-profile competitions. You mentioned a couple of them there, but in terms of, their statistics, they have actually jumped clear in every round. They've jumped at the meter 55, which is really fantastic. And I do think this is a really strategic decision from Team Eye Candy, of course, managed by Erica Hatfield, to select a very strong squad here today, because this could be crucial. Eye Candy won the first season of Major League. They came 2nd last year in the overall season, and they're very keen to get onto the season podium, if you like. It's all about consistency. Good time as well for Yoli. It's 70.03, but crucially, it's a clear to kick things off for Team Eye Candy. You can just see the team supporters there in the wings, eagerly waiting to see how these team rounds play out. But a great way to kick things off for the team. 4 clears in a row.
And I'm fascinated, Hannah, because it seems clear decisions from the 2 teams we've seen so far not to go for broke up there, to be a little bit conservative, bearing the conditions in mind. And this can be a fascinating, competition that unfolds, because will anybody really chance their arm, or is everyone going to play in this slightly similar, slightly safe mode?
So Bliss Heers will be the 2nd rider into the ring for Team Eye Candy. Bliss, of course, was a member of Team Helios last year, but she's been poached for Eye Candy for this second half of the season. But again, great to have Bliss here in Mexico. Of course, she was the winner of the Major League Grand Prix in San Miguel de Allende last year. And Goodbye is her ride, horse that she again performed very well with in San Miguel earlier on in the year, just last month, 3rd in a 3-star Grand Prix there. This one is a 12-year-old mare.
And maybe this is the combination to ramp up the speed a little bit. They've been together for 7 years, started back in 2017. They've got 9 international wins to date, including that Helios victory here May last season. So maybe this is the pair. I think it's a little bit quicker is my instinct, but the fence down is now academic.
Yeah, the first fence down of the competition, and a second one for Bliss Heers. That is just not what Team Eye Candy needed. What a pity. As you say, she's got quite some pace up. And you wonder if that might have caused her to just clip those poles. There wasn't a huge amount wrong there.
Now, this is a great combination. I was commentating at San Miguel a couple of weeks ago, and they really caught my eye. They didn't win, but they were knocking on the door, and they're just, trusty old friends. And, it just shows the difficulty of the course that we hadn't quite appreciated, Hannah, up to this point.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting course with a lot of related distances, those 3 double combinations as well, and it's a lot of jumping all the way down, all the way through the course. But 8 is going to be the score for Bliss Hears. That's going to change things quite a bit for Team Eye Candy, and no doubt they'll be eagerly watching the other teams to see if they can stay in the top 4, because that's what's really, really crucial. A top 4 finish is, really making the difference, especially this year. Those teams who are at the top of things have finished in the top 4 more than twice, but the bottom 4 teams have only finished in the top 4 twice. So that really tells you, if you're in the top 4 more, you're much more likely to be further up, and it needs to be consistent, not just once in a while. But Richard Vogel comes forward now. Richard Vogel substitutes in for Matt Sampson. Crack HV is Richard's ride, and he was the winner of our 5-star Grand Prix qualifier yesterday. Brilliant jump off there. We had 10 through to the jump off, and it was a fantastic competition, but Richard Vogel coming out on top. So could be a man on form, knows that really he needs to keep a clean sheet here to keep Eye Candy in with a shout.
This man is an extraordinary talent. He is still 26. He dropped out of school, went to Bernd Herbert initially, then to Ludger Beerbaum for a 2.5-year spell. Then he set up on his own away from Ludger against, again, everybody's better judgment, having decided to drop out of school. But he's turning into a wonderful talent, and he's knocking on the world's top 10. Last reckoning, he was number 16 in the world. I think he's probably moved higher. Haven't checked the new rankings, but this man is on a mission.
Yeah, he is on a mission. Unfortunately, we're working on the 4 now. And we've got a couple of rattles here for Richard Vogel. Second fence comes down for Crack HV. It's 16 in total for Eye Candy as it stands. A few more fences still needing jumping though. And you can just see how quickly this competition changes. There's no drop score. Richard's absolutely fine for time, but certainly very much on the pace with a time of 68.67. But those 2 fences down will give him 8 penalties and will give Eye Candy 16 in total. We've got a very different story from our first 2 teams out. 1 clean sheet and 1 16 score. Really can't call how this competition is going to go, because we need to see how the other teams fare, whether 16 might get them into the top 4. I think it could be quite tricky, but there are certainly a lot of places that can catch the riders out all the way around the course, Ed.
Yeah, and that man, he's up to number 13 in the world, but that horse Crack substituted in late, is only 8 years of age, so I think we're again seeing the demands out there. Okay, let's sit tight here, Hannah. I think this team, yes, they're looking for a big result, but I think this team could be interesting this afternoon somehow.
Yeah, strong lineup for the Spyco Spies. Once again, it's getting down to crunch time in the season. It's getting down to the time when they've got to pull out a good result. The Spyco Spies have still yet to have a podium finish. And last year, they had so many second places. Jordan Coyle was instrumental in a lot of those successes last year. And he's joined on the squad today by Ashley Vogel and Shane Sweetnam. Shane, of course, who comes here fresh from a World Cup win. Jordan rides for gold. And this has been a really great partner for Jordan so far. 50% of the time clear this year so far for the team. Jumped clear in Vancouver with for gold earlier on this year. But he's a double previous winner of Major League Grand Prix as well. This is one of the smaller horses that Jordan rides, and he really does ride a big range of different horses. Some of these larger, bigger striding horses, but then he has a couple in his string like For Gold who are very different as well, so he shows his versatility as a rider.
Yes, him and his brother Daniel out here doing big business and huge winners on the North American circuit. New ride, former rider of Alex Lawler from the USA this season for gold. Their last win was at Guadalajara in the big 3-star Grand Prix there. That was in late September. This is quite swift, Hannah.
Yeah, Jordan really moved things on around that wider turn over on this side of the ring. Just really kept the pace up there. He is such a quick rider. Just has these last two fences to go, just takes a little bit of a pull. This time is just absolutely outstanding. He is so quick. 63.41 is the fastest round we've seen so far, and it's a clear for Jordan Coyle. What a great start for the Spy Coast Spies. It would be great for them to get another top 4 finish and get their first podium here today. But Jordan Coyle, he's been fantastic for the team in recent years, and brilliant to see him on form again here today. Ashley Vogel will be riding Ceres van het Mooshoff today. And Ashley is new to the team for 2023, but she's had a good few performances with this horse. She rode this horse in Greenwich as well as earlier on in the season. It's a horse that she's been riding since June of this year. She jumped clear in Greenwich, didn't quite have the time that she wanted in her earlier appearance for the team. So good to see that good performance at our latest leg.
Yes, Ashley Vogel, 22, had that bad skiing accident March last year, 6 months out with knee rehab. So a gutsy younger rider. Great to see her here. Ceres van het Mooshoff has made a secure start. And certainly she'll be feeling a little bit of pressure weighted on her because of that great round of Jordan Coyle.
Yeah, it's difficult to say where the position of most pressure is in this team competition, because you know as the first rider out, you've really got to set the tone. But the pressure is on all three. One down for Ashley Vogel.
A Major League rookie, as we say, this year. She got off to a brilliant start at Thunderbird, had a 1m40 win with her other good horse, Bellissimo Z.
The 6, then the 7 strides down to the last 70 seconds exactly for Ashley Vogel, but it's just the 1 pole dropped. Still a very good round there, very much on the pace as well, and lots to like about that round. Great to see her having a good start in her first appearance for the Spy Coast Spies, but just the 4 is going to be the team score for now. See a little bit of a rattle coming out of that double as well, but 4 is the total score so far, with Shane Sweetnam, world number 11, as their final rider to come into the ring. RR Combella is his ride. This combination have always jumped clear for the team so far, and over fences of 1m50 in height, RR Combella is clear 92% of the time.
And she's an extraordinary mare. Again, Hannah, 9. Her first 5-star was with us at Traverse City in early July. She's on a very sharp upward trajectory. Had a couple of very good seconds in 3-star class at Lexington at the start of October. Then came her first 5-star win in San Miguel, and 5th in another 5-star class there. So Shane Sweetnam is on course.
Shane, of course, as we were saying earlier, coming here from that win in the World Cup at Lexington with James Can Cruz. But he's been riding RR Combella among a hat-trick of very good horses in the team competitions. Out of the Blue, SCF and Seajocks Z as well. Oh, has a big reach over that fence. Bit of a rattle, but it stayed up. He's got some luck on his side here today, and a big race to the final fence as well. 64.94. We are seeing some pretty amazing times here, but crucially, once again, it's clear for Shane Sweetnam. Just the 4 then for the Spy Coast Spies. I'm feeling hopeful about a good result for them here. Just the 4, so they're just 1 fence behind the Crusaders, who in quite a turn of events are leading the standings.
Yeah, certainly going to be exciting. Let's hope we see them again, because that's a very exciting new horse for the brilliant talent of Shane Sweetnam.
The The season leaders then are in the ring next. It's the Trelawney Trailblazers, and just look at this lineup. Connor Swale, Gregory Watherley and Niall Nassar. Connor Swale, world number 20, Gregory Watherley, world number 30, Niall, world number 49. All of these riders in the top 50 in the world, and a great lineup of horses as well. Connor Swale is going to tackle this course for them first. Connor always manages to stay in his own plan, if you like. He's jumped 11 rounds for the Trailblazers so far this year and has jumped 10 clear. He's dropped one pole across 11 rounds for the Trelawney Trailblazers, which is just an exceptional record, 91% of the time clear. Last year he was 80% of the time clear in 2022, so he was extremely consistent then, and he is even better this year. Gamble is his ride. He's primarily been riding Theo 160 and Castorano on the team competitions. We saw Vital Chancellor Rock in Ottawa as well. But Gamble is another very strong horse for him, and that's who he's choosing today.
Yes, and let's not put a finer point on the Irish weather, but these kind of conditions, they'll be well familiar, the Irish lads, this afternoon.
Really tight turn back to 3. Super tight, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant, and is a specialist for these major league starts, Hannah. Only 3 major starts so far, but a team specialist with a silver, a bronze. So, yeah, it's a good horse, this.
This year so far, Connor has been in the top 10 15 times with Gamble, and out of those 8 are wins. As you say, he's a great partner for Connor, 12-year-old gelding. He's only had 3 starts at 160, so Connor stepping the horse up through the levels. Again, look at the time. It's just brilliant. Trelawney Trailblazers absolutely having a fantastic start here. Connor Swale, 63.31. It's another clear. He has now jumped 11 clear rounds out of 12 rounds jumped. You've just got to take your hat off to that score.
Yes, masterful, and exactly 0.1 of a second, a tenth quicker than Jordan Coyle. What a horseman, and yeah, let's sit tight, Hannah. Things have certainly, he's got the competition a little by the scruff and collar there, I think, Connor Swale.
Well, the Trailblazers have brought out a fantastic addition to the team for the second half of the year. It's Gregory Watherley, world number 30, and it will be fascinating to see him in action here today. Makes his debut for the team. And Nevados S is his ride, and what a horse to bring it here. I mean, Gregory himself is just an absolutely incredible rider. You know, he's an Olympic and European Championships medalist, won the World Cup in Lyon last week with James Bond de Hay. But Nevados is an absolutely iconic horse, I think you could say. So, you know, he's won a Rolex Grand Prix at Windsor. That was in 2022, placed in the top 10 in so many 5-star Grand Prix. And he was also, of course, Gregory's horse for the World Championships, Nations Cup finals.
Yeah, 15 years of age against some of the 9-year-old young talents we've seen, isn't Nevados just coasting round. Huge stride, ground cover with his stride, to be a little bit less dyslexic. It's a beautiful round.
Yeah, and he's just making all the use of that stride, 64.27. The time was never going to be a problem. It's such a treat to watch this combination in action. Great way to kick things off for their Major League team career. We're hoping to see them. We think we will be seeing them in the desert in California in a few weeks' time as well. Of course, as we head towards the finals, things are really hotting up, and this year it's much more tightly packed in the standings versus last year.
This is the point. Isn't it incredible to see old partnerships who've been together for a long time, where you've got to sustain the relationship, and these young, very quickly forged partnerships? This is an incredible mix, isn't it, of talent we're seeing already this afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic lineup. And as you say, it's great to see the young riders competing alongside established names who have no doubt they will have been looking up to earlier on in their careers and probably still now as well. Niall Nassar comes next. Jiminy Cricket is his ride. Niall has made a good few appearances for the team so far. Jumped 2 double clears. In Ottawa, he was selected for a slightly unusual jump off there. Just picked up some time penalties in round 1 and then jumped clear in the second round with Jiminy Cricket. He's a horse that quite likes a bit of rain. And it's a little bit damp here, but the ground is, it's actually not too soft. It's really holding up extremely well. It's fantastic footing in there. But Niall is now working on the 4.
And Niall, born in Chicago, Illinois, raised in Q8, Stanford University graduate in economics. Tokyo Olympian, 24th there. What an incredible career he's now building up. And Jiminy Cricket, again, travelling nicely, Hannah, but not the clear round, of course. That he would have loved.
Yeah, I still think a 4 is going to be a strong performance from the team, and of course the score will be scratched as soon as they get into the second round, into the top 4 should they be able to. But for the Trelawney Trailblazers, a score of 4, some extremely good times, but so did the Spyco Spies. So the Trailblazers actually sit in 3rd place so far. The Spyco Spies were quicker than them by just over a second. The Crusaders, as you see, are a little off that pace, just a fraction, but with that clear, those 3 clears, they're still sitting at the top of things. Really pretty unusual to see, but great to see things getting shaken up a bit as Team Helios head into the ring. The winners of this leg last year, spearheaded by Ashley Bond, who's going to head in first for them. And of course, they were last year's season champions. They were an absolute runaway success last year. They just couldn't stop winning. Garfield is the ride for Ashley, and she is 42nd in the world rankings at the moment. Lots of good results on her CV. Great string of horses to her name, and if you been watching all of our legs of Major League Show Jumping, you'll remember, I'm sure, her brilliant jump off in the American Gold Cup where she finished 2nd. Garfield, this really striking chestnut horse, though, the ride for today.
It's Ashley Bond casted her season eye around this track this afternoon of Antonio D'Ambrosio. Had that very good as well. The Paris Olympic ticket was gained with Israel along with Poland in the Prague Nations Cup this summer.
Yeah, the Team Helios have been in the top 4 3 times so far this season. They've been on the podium 3 times. So, again, they're looking for another good result. They haven't quite had the luck this season. Last year, they were in the top 4 7 times and on the podium 6 times with 6 wins. It's impossible for anybody to match that this year. The Trailblazers are certainly giving it a run as well. Ashley's such a quick rider. She's making a great turn back there.
And that impressive 11th place individually in behind Ben Mayer. An explosion in the Olympics in Tokyo was awesome from Ashley Bond. It's a good round again.
Really good round. She's looking at the clock. She's miles away. 66.44 is the time for Ashley Bond. What a great round to kick things off for Team Helios, chasing a 2nd win in a row here. 2nd win.
And I like the horse. He looks very, very hungry. You feel that when the handbrake is let off a little bit as they establish, they've only been together for just under 1 year. That is a very interesting combination.
Yeah, we've seen Ashley really bringing Garfield up the ranks and, you know, jumping in the 2-star competitions, now in the 5 stars, and just going from strength to strength, really sort of bringing him on quite sensitively and using him in these teaming competitions to just get more miles on the clock, and now he's really stepping up to the level. Mark Blumen is next in for Team Helios. He's just inside the world's top 200 riders. Noortje van der Windheuvel is his ride. And he returns to Team Helios for the 2nd half of the season. Made his debut in Greenwich with this horse. Just had the 1 pole down there. So he's looking for his first clear of the year for the team.
And that super win as well, Traverse City, August last year. And they've been together since February of 2021. And this is a pretty brisk start here. Come down into this double, coast through there nicely. And again, a little press forward with his body on the getaway just to, again, run the horse forward into 7.
Yes,
Rattles in, both parts in of the verticals, Hannah.
Very lucky. Very, very lucky. I mean, speed is certainly not something that's ever been a problem for Team Helios. They've always got quick riders, but Mark is flirting with having a pole down here.
There's some good glue in Mexico, isn't there? We saw it with Shane Sweetnam, and we've seen it again with Mark Blumer. Some really good glue.
Yeah, absolutely. So, some real luck coming out here today, but Mark Blumen keeps the luck all the way around this course and gets a second clear for Team Helios. Out of our teams that have gone so far, all but one have had 2 clears. That's really showing you that this course is jumping extremely well. Great to see that stretch over the Major League boxer for Noche van der Windheuvel. Crucially, 2 clears for Team Helios. Erin Ballard comes next, Canadian rider who is the world number 45 at the moment. And Coconut is her ride. She was on Team KPF last year, formerly known as Team Lugano, of course. This year, she's 71% of the time clear for the team, and hers is the best rate of Team Helios, actually, so far. This is the first time we've seen her ride this horse in the team competition, but she's jumped a good few double clear in Toronto, double clear in Ottawa as well.
It's a brisk start out over the Banorte vertical at 3. Runs looking back, farm trainer and coach there. Her first Nations Cup was back in 06 at Spruce Meadows. It was a double clear with a victory for Canada. Robin van Roosendaal that afternoon was one of her flagship moments.
Yeah, really shame to see that fence come down for Erin. Just ran on a little bit to the fence.
But again, scope to burn.
Yeah, she just has got some sensational horses at the moment. And lovely to see this.
We haven't seen many horses, Hannah, have we, with so much pop off the turf, which, as we know, is a little bit holding.
Coming to us then, Erin Ballard. We need to see what the time is going to be here as well. She's not the fastest. She's just over 70 seconds. 1 pole down is going to be 4 again. 3 teams now on a score of 4, those being the Spyco Spies, the Trelawney Trailblazers and Team Helios. Now, interestingly, Team Helios are the slowest of those 3 on 4. Crusaders still at the top of things. The Spyco Spy still the fastest. There's not much in it though, only a couple of seconds separating Team Helios from the Trelawney Trailblazers, and sadly it's all over for Team Eye Candy. They were actually my pick to finish on the podium today, but sadly Team Eye Candy have dropped below the cut line and they are going home. It's just not going their way this season.
But this is the thing that's fascinating. It keeps us on the edge of our seats, that you do discard those penalties as we go forward. And that, I think, is the compelling difference between a Major League team versus the Nations Cup, the traditional format. This is what keeps us all riveted. Yeah,
it's you win and lose this competition so quickly. You know, we've seen scores of 16 stay above the cut line in the past. Sadly, not the case for Candy today. Show Plus Northern Lights, though, are going to head into the ring next. They sit in 7th on 44 points at the moment. They've been in the top 4 twice, on the podium twice. So they finished in 3rd place in Traverse City and in Toronto. Haven't had a win yet this season, but it's been really nice to see them get those podium finishes. They were only on the podium once last year, so they're already performing a little bit better this year versus last year. Interestingly as well, the Northern Lights added 4 new riders this season. which was more than any other team. Most teams changing 1 or 2 or 3. The Northern Lights going for 4 new riders. There's a bit of a Canadian flavour to the team, and Eric Crowett is keeping that up with Chicago CM.
And this young man, his stomach must be turning at 19 years of age. It's some responsibility. Chicago CM comes in to start the campaign of the Show Plus Northern Lights this afternoon.
The Northern Lights were a team who last year lost out on the top 4 purely on time twice. So it was really, really unfortunate to see. You know, they got the right scores, but they just couldn't get the pace. And it's something that they've struggled with slightly this year as well. You know, we start to see characteristics of these teams. You know, we know that Team Helios and the Trailblazers are extremely quick. The Show Plus Northern Lights often get the good scores, but just struggle with the pace. Eric Crowett, though, is racing.
Yeah, he saw a big distance there, didn't he, down to the MLSJ Oxer.
Yeah, very bravely ridden there. And it's really
like his stomach's churning at all, Hannah. He looks very, very cool, doesn't he, on his debut?
Very relaxed, very at ease in the ring.
And bear in mind, I mean, this horse had 1 win this year at Thermal back in mid-January, but the last time it was a retirement at Tryon in the Grand Prix. So again, that just shows Eric Kravitz's mettle to come back and jump a great round. Okay, 1 down, but respect to the young man.
Yeah, first appearance for Eric Crowett, and as you say, just that 1 pole gives him the 4. Now, the pressure is really on for his teammates because they know that anything more than 4 will have them below the cut line. That's how close it has got now. We only have 3 teams still to complete. We have to have 2 clears for the coming teams, otherwise they are not going through to round 2. That's got to be quite some feat to think about for Cara Chad, who's into the ring next. Igor GPH is her ride. Made her debut in Greenwich with this horse, and they had 1 pole down. She can't do that today. In fact, we are seeing a score of 8 for the Show Plus Northern Lights. An updated score for Eric Crowett. He does come home in the end on the 8, and so Show Plus Northern Lights, it's a little bit academic now.
Lights are fading slightly.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's important for them to get some good points here. They're sitting in 7th. 44 is their points tally so far. And they're only 4 points behind Spyco Spice, who sit in 6th, but it looks like that gap may be widened at this stage.
It's even more of a shame because Cara Chad has powered off to a good start. The world number 136 World Games in the USA at Tryon 2018. Runs Maple Park Farm in England with Matthew Sampson.
Gets the clear, though. Gets the clear that she wants. Improves on the performance from Greenwich. No pole down for Cara Chad. Keeps the Northern Lights on their score of 8. And, you know, a 5th place finish is the best that they can do. If they were to do that, that would actually be their 2nd best placing of the year. They had 2 thirds, 3 sixths and an 8th at the moment in this season. So a 5th wouldn't be bad at all. Santiago
and it's a
Lambra.
seasoned man to anchor the Northern Lights. We welcome Santiago Lambra for Brazil. He switched nationality to ride for Brazil in 2021, having had 2 decades for our home nation here, Mexico. Started riding at just 5 years of age, tender years like most horsemen or women. Chattanooga is on course.
Yeah, again, we've had a little bit of a change around here. Santiago steps in for Juan Ortiz, who unfortunately picked up an injury himself earlier in the week. So Santiago takes the slot for the Show Plus Northern Lights, but what a person to be able to bring onto the team. as you say, such a talent and such a seasoned competitor. He's been in this position many times in his career, just not on the Show Plus Northern Lights.
I love this horse's disposition, quite feisty, quite independent-minded Chattanooga, saying to Santiago, yeah, I'm not at all perturbed by this slightly, you know, good ground, Hannah, but of course it's had a lot of rainfall and it's jumping beautifully. Quite quick as well.
Yeah, really quick. He's getting away from the fences extremely quickly. Oh, he's just clipped the last. Oof, final fence for Santiago Lambre. So it's going to be 12. Oof, in total for the Show Plus Northern Lights. Oh, that changes things. I was so keen for them to have a 5th place finish, or, you know, finish well here today. But, you know, a score of 12 is still not bad. Not too
with
bad.
the score correction for Eric Kravis and the last fence for Santiago Lambre, the Northern Lights go away, feeling a little bit robbed, I think, this afternoon about what could nearly be. But okay.
Still, you need to be on a score of 4 and faster than 202 seconds in order to be into the top 4. It's quite a big ask, but some strong teams to come. Team KPF are the penultimate team into round 1, with Eduardo de Menezes, Zoe Conter and Natalie Dean coming forward. We bring forward Eduardo Pereira de Menezes first, with Calypso de Matisse. Team KPF are in 5th place. Of course, had that great win in Traverse City. And they sit on 53 points. Had 2 top 4 finishes, 2 podiums, and 1 win so far. Really impressive for them to jump up to 5th place in the season standings. It was very, very tight. We had a few teams, 3 teams in fact, tied at the bottom of things prior to Greenwich, and following their podium finish there, Team KPF managed to jump up to 5th. Again, shows you how quickly it can change in the standings. Of course, double points up for grabs at the final as well, so this is absolutely crucial as this last opportunity for the teams before we head to the finals.
And this team has got a fascinating mix of the experience and mileage of Eduardo Pereira de Menezes, and then the youthfulness relatively of Zoe Conte and Natalie Dees. This is a real fascinating mix-up here.
Eduardo, another rider who's making his debut on the team competition. One of 2 new riders brought in the transfer window. Of course, that happens in the middle of the season when the teams can swap riders out in their roster of 6.
And his story is fascinating, from Santa Maria in the south of Brazil. Show jumping did not exist, but gaucho riding did. And luckily, a friend of his father was an army general who taught the Western style, and that is what Eduardo Pereira de Menezes got his sort of leg up into the big sport of show jumping.
It's a little bit disunited coming down to the penultimate fence, but certainly not something that would rattle this man. And we get another clear round. Oof, what a start for Team KPF. Eduardo Menezes adds nothing and leaves the pressure on a little bit for Zoe Conter and Natalie Dean, these 2 young ladies who have got it all to do. Neither of them would like a pole down. They can have 1 and be quick, but in an ideal world we'd have 3 clears, much like the Crusaders, but we'll see how we go here. Zoe Conte comes forward with La Una. This horse has been clear 60% of the time this year, and Zoe is another rider who is stepping in as a substitution with the due to medical reasons here. Young Belgian rider. Her sister Emily Conter is also here in Monterey and been competing well.
"25 years of age as well. Zoe Conte, number 317 from the very powerful Stefek stables in Wolverton. Father Stefan runs the likes of Daniel Doisup based there, plus a huge list of illustrious world stars, so she learns from the very best day in, day out.
Moves away from the fence quickly. got an eye on the clock. Looks like a little bit of vocal encouragement there through the double combination. Bit of a rattle. Well, Zoe Conter gets the clear. We'll just double check her time for you. She had a good few rattles in there. So Team KPF are another team looking for a strong finish here. Last year they were 6th in the season standings. They're 5th right now, and it'd be great to see them climbing a little higher than they did. 1:31.31, Zoe Conter's time there being 67.06 for her clear round. So one rider still to come for Team KPF. It's Natalie Dean with .com Dorthui. Natalie's ranked 82nd in the world, and she's 4th in the under-25 world rankings. She's had quite some time competing over in Europe earlier on this year. And really getting the miles on the clock in some extremely impressive competitions for her young age. .com Dorthui, great partner for her in some of those.
Some years she's had World Cup finals in Omaha, 33rd Nations Cup, Mercedes-Benz prize in Arc, and some season, and it's quick.
Super quick. She just needs to be clear here to guarantee Team KPF a spot in the top 4. She doesn't have to absolutely go for it on the clock, because even if the Roadrunners have 3 clears, a clean sheet would keep them above Spy Coast, the Trailblazers and Team Helios. She's got quite some pace up here.
Yeah, and I love the little verbal commands. We heard the same from Connor Swale down through that combination. Any aid the rider's got available, used when it's needed.
Yeah, and this course and the arena really, it can encourage the horses to kind of get a little bit strung out and get a bit quick and get a bit long around this course. Not a problem for Natalie Dean. It's another clear. Oh, Team KPF finishing on a clean sheet, and they are a lot faster than the Crusaders. They are more than 6 seconds quicker. They are leading the way. Team KPF are absolutely going for it here. They finished, I'll read to you their results in order. They finished 7th, then 6th, then 7th, then 7th, then 1st, and then 2nd. And now we have a clean sheet, and they're guaranteed a spot in the top 4. So something has turned around for this team in the second half of the season, and it's just absolutely going their way. Another team for whom that is the case is the Roadrunners. Final team into the ring for round 1. 3 American riders on their rosters today: Adrian Sternlicht, Caitlin Campbell and Kathleen Driscoll. Kathleen being a young rider who has been absolutely outstanding up in Traverse City this summer, and who clinched the win for them in Greenwich. Adrian Sternlicht will be first off. Her ride is Cozumel. The Roadrunners sit in 2nd in the standings. Of course, this team spearheaded by McLean Ward, but managed by Alex Wilson and Steve Hanking.
This lady, that brilliant horse that Chris Chugg brought out of Australia, Crystalline, the World Cup finals in Gothenburg, was there watching Crystalline, and I had a Shutterfly in my mind of Meredith Michaels' bib, and that was the quality. Then the team gold came in triumph with Crystalline, 11th position. Some talents. Adrian Sternlicht gets underway.
Just up clear at Traverse City, our first trip there, and then just picked up a time penalty in round 1 at the second trip to Traverse City. So she's been pretty strong for the Roadrunners so far. As I say, they sit in second place. They're on 66 points. Meanwhile, the Trailblazers lead on 89. So there's a bit of a gap, but not a lot. And with the double points at the final, things could change quite quickly. I think one thing that's important to bear in mind as well now is that the points gap is less now from first to second than it was in 2023. So it's 23 now. In 2022, the gap between first and second place in the standings was 32 at this point. Roadrunners were in 6th place at this point last year. Now they're in 2nd. So, you know, it's really good to have a look at the comparison between the team's performances from 2022 to 2023. And you can see that the Roadrunners have really pulled it out of the bag, and they really are going for it. They're more successful this year than last year, and that's continuing here today. Adrian Sternlicht using all that experience you mentioned, Ed, to get a clear.
It was such a powerful round. I mean, Cozumel, such a huge ground covering stride. Again, such power off the turf. And yeah, if they can get through, that could be a horse that could, I think, have a good turn foot with the long gallop stretches that we more than likely will see here in Monterey-La Silla.
Well, of course, we will bring back 2 riders for round 2, and then the third will return for round 3. Really some strategic decisions to come in terms of who the teams select for round 2 and round 3, because you really want to be able to get into the gold medal matchup. You want to be in the top 2. Another case of getting above the cut line. Caitlin Campbell then with Temple is our next rider in. Caitlin has been a key part of this team for some time. She was on the Roadrunners last year as well. She rode on the team in Vancouver and rode in the medal matchup, lost out to Connor Swale to secure 4th place. Just picked up 2 time penalties in Greenwich. This is the first time she's ridden Temple in the team competition. She is still looking for a clear this year.
And a little bit like Natalie Dean, who jumped that super clear to end the campaign for KPF. She knows how to win, Caitlin Campbell, but yeah, falters into the combination. Had that great team win in Connecticut at Greenwich.
Caitlin Campbell, 2nd fence down. I was about to say she knows she needs to go for the time now, but 2 fences down, it's all over. It's all over for the Roadrunners. Their run of good form has not continued in the way that they would have liked. This does not look like the easiest ride for Caitlin at all.
So strong in the hand.
So
Temple has got a little bit unruly at the end of that. Yeah, we understand what has just happened.
Yeah, super strong, and she was just really struggling to hold things together there. And as I say, you know, in this ring and around this course, they can be encouraged to get strung out and get a bit strong. And Temple over for the Roadrunners. Having said that, our 5th placed team, or we have the Northern Lights on 12. Our 5th placed team are Team Helios on the 4. So the Roadrunners could get into 6th, but no better. Kathleen Driscoll is ranked 61st in the world at the moment. She rides Flotilla. This is the horse that was the star of the Roadrunners squad in Greenwich. We had that 4-way jump off in the end in a slightly different format in Greenwich due to the weather conditions. Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla being the rider selected for the Roadrunners, and she just did the most incredible job to win against some huge names in the sport. Jumped to double clear and was fastest to clinch the gold. Of course, as I was saying earlier, she was the leading rider at the Traverse City Horse Shows. She's just had so many wins at the 2- and 3-star level. Going for the time, she just needs to keep clear here. That's the best that she can do to finish on a clear and clinch the 6th place for the Roadrunners. Would be a kind of...
I like my breeding, Hannah, sorry. And this is the same bloodline, Polish bred again, like Nevados of Gregory Wathelet. So another Polish bred mare this time, 3 years the senior, or the junior, I should say, of Nevados. But yeah, super athlete.
Oh, what a pity. Fence comes down for Kathleen. Now the time will make a difference because they are on 12. Showplus Northern Lights on 12 with a not bad time. but we have our top 4. Final fence for Kathleen Driscoll, 61.73. She is extremely quick. 2:03.97 is the team time. It's going to be a bit slower than the Northern Lights, so the Roadrunners finish in 7th place. Oof, it's not going to be another top 4 finish for them. It's not their best result by any stretch, and this could really make a difference because we've got some big names into round 2. We have Team KPF, the Crusaders, Spico Spies and Trailblazers coming back. Of course, they'll go in reverse order in round 2, so the Trailblazers will come into the ring first, Spico Spies will come in second, Crusaders will come in third, and Team KPF will be the final team to head in to round 2, where it will be all about speed. So what a competition, Ed. A few shocks, a few surprises, but nice to see the Crusaders doing well.
Yeah, quite extraordinary. And they set off with that clear plan and mindset, Hannah, which was, yes, we're going to come out and jump a clear round. We trust the track's difficult enough, the ground conditions holding enough that will get us through. And it was a great tactic. They pre-planned it clearly, and it's paid off beautifully.
Yes, very much so. So the Crusaders second best in round 1, but the scores won't matter once we get into round 2. The scores will be scratched. It's a clean sheet for those top 4 teams. It's all over, though, for Team Helios. It's over for the Northern Lights and the Roadrunners and Team Eye Candy. In that bottom 4, we have our current ranked 2, 3 and 4 in the season standings. So we could see some shake-ups here today. Could be a really, really exciting one. This season is just getting more dramatic the further through we go. Could be a good result for the Trailblazers here. If the Trailblazers are able to clinch a win, they could extend their lead, of course, with the Roadrunners out of the top 4, but the Spico Spies looking for as many points as they can to leapfrog some of their rivals to get higher up. The Crusaders looking to get off the bottom of the table, and they're looking really strong as well. Well, plenty of new faces on the teams. We caught up with some of them earlier in the week.
Yeah, I'm really excited because it looks fun, looks like a new challenge, new people. Of course, I know most of the people in my team, but now I'm really excited to start here.
I think it's great. The league is getting the sport in all North America to another level, and it's nice that we can be here and be part of it.
I am very, very much looking forward to the league. Actually, it's my first major league.
Yeah, it's been great. Major League is a real step forward in show jumping in North America, and I think it's really exciting to be a part of it. I'm luckily on the team, mostly Canadian team, so it's also nice to be able to represent Canada.
When I was contacted, I was really, really happy to be a part of it. I've got my best horses here with me.
I'm a team guy. For me, the best shows are the Nations Cups, and I'm excited to try this new format. I think a team always brings a different spirit. Other people cheering for you. You have more pressure. That's where you need to prove that you can hold on for your peers.
I mean, I love doing the team events. I don't get the Nations Cups for Greece so much, so yeah, I'm really excited.
When the Northern Lights team manager approached me about it, I was like 100% I need to take advantage of this opportunity. All the riders have so many good things to say about it, and so far I've had great experiences.
I have a really nice relationship with Kent, and we're good friends. And at one point he called me and he asked me if I wanted to come here, and I thought it would be great to do something together, as we already have a good relationship going on, and here we are.
I have checked the few last show to try to understand the rules, but at the end, yeah, it's not so complicated.
Well, the shows are incredible. It's great to come to an incredible venue like this in Lucia, and yeah, I'm just very lucky to be part of it.
And I must say, in Mexico, I'm really happy with my idea to come over here. It's super show, really good. Like we can see in La Sila, it's amazing. I mean, it's one of the best shows you can find on grass.
Well, I think, I'm just grateful to be on the team. So hopefully I can get some results going. And I think that's amazing riders already here. And I'm hoping to be part of it and give it back a little bit.
For sure, it's a new challenge, new idea, new system, and I'm really happy to start a new chapter in my career.
Our last team competition in Greenwich was fantastic. The conditions were less than ideal, but my mare flotilla was absolutely amazing, and I'm really glad I was able to deliver well there. The particularly good rounds and bad rounds kind of stick with you a bit, so that's one that's carried with me. You know, that mare that I had, Flotilla, she's an absolute superstar. So even in less than stellar conditions, in the rain and the sloppy footing, she just came out and tried her absolute hardest. She was right with me everywhere. She's just become a real powerhouse in my string. I can always count on her when the going gets tough, and when the pressure's on, she always delivers. I'm glad I've been able to pull my weight and hold my own. In all fairness, you know, the team, we had a bit of bad luck at the beginning of the season, you know, and we're just trying to turn it around a bit here. But every good performance we can get from myself or anyone else counts, and we'll just try and keep climbing our way up. You know, we're closing in on the Trailblazers there, so we'll see if we can close that gap a bit more this week, and then we're on our home turf in California in December, so hoping for good luck there as well. I am very excited. My horses are on fabulous form. It's our first time here in Mexico, but the ring is beautiful, the facilities are great. I have very high hopes, and you know, we've got a good team, we have good momentum behind us now, so fingers crossed for a good result. We'll do our best on Saturday, but I'm hoping we can just carry this momentum forward and keep delivering. You know, it's a sport where you lose a lot more than you win, even at the best of times. So for sure, when you have a couple good wins behind you, it gives you that confidence going into new venues and continuing on, that you've got the right program behind you and the right tools and the trainers. There's so many moving parts in this sport. You know, that momentum to me indicates that everything's coming together and it's moving in the right direction. And it just gives you that extra boost of confidence going into the ring. And sometimes that can make all the difference.
Premier Equestrian is the leading provider of arena footing products in North America, featuring a full line of footing products to fit any budget. From home arenas to prestigious events, like Major League Show Jumping, Premier Equestrian is the company to rely on. Horse owners, trainers, and facility managers know the importance of good footing. It supports the safety and conditioning of their equine athletes. Premier Equestrian understands this too. Call us at 800-611-6109 or look us up at premierequestrian.com.
Well, let's take a look then at the course for round two. We'll start out over that Vector Empresas Oxa at fence 1 from round 1. Quick whip back round then right-handed to the Oxa at fence 4 from round 1. We'll then travel left-handed to the Banorte upright at fence 5 before then continuing left-handed round to fence 6A and B, the first of the doubles from round 1. Still one stride in there, and will take quite some accurate jumping. Right-handed then to a new fence. It's a BMW sponsored upright at fence 14 before they then travel right in front of the VIP area to the MLSJ upright at fence 15. A couple of uprights there. Need to look out for some really accurate riding there, to make sure those tricky tall fences don't come down. Finally, fence 10A from there to come out, and then a run down to fence 11, which will finish off the course for round 2. Well, 4 teams are going forward to round 2. We start out with 8 as always. We come forward with 4. And what we're trying to do here is get again above the cut line into the top 2. So 4 teams coming forward. We'll go in reverse order of placings from round 1. So the Trailblazers will come in first, and then the Spyco Spies, then the Crusaders, and then Team KPF. They'll be the final team to head into the ring. And what they're trying to do is to get into the gold medal matchup. So 2 riders per team will come back. And it's a really strategic decision as to who is selected to try to get their team into the top 2. Of course, you want to keep a fast rider for the final round, for round 3. But it's certainly something that takes a lot of thinking about when you need to get again above the cut line. Ed, this should be a really exciting competition.
Yes, it's going to be brilliant. And I think a real bravery test here, Antonio D'Ambrosio's course, because you come out of the start gates and it's an Oxa, 180-degree turn, Hannah, and you've just got to be very alert, we know from the get-go, but I think the first 2-3 fences are going to be critical. If you're brave and you've got a gun for it from the start, basically. But a table C format, so you can do that.
Well, there we see the round 1 results again. You can see those top 4 teams, and as I say, the Trailblazers are going to be the team heading into the ring first. They are the season leaders.
So what about strategy? Strategy from round 1 is
Connor Swale has been selected to represent them in round 2.
Yes, we talk about a brave test, and no better man to show us the way than this man from St. Phil, County Down. Connor Swale with his wonderful gamble. I think he's going to set a blazing pace, Hannah, from the get-go. That's got to be the instinct.
Yeah, 100%. Connor Swale is the first rider out, and I'll confirm the names that have been selected for the teams with you as soon as we have those confirmed. Connor Swale with Gamble, though, is going to tackle this first jump-off, if you like, first.
Both these riders are top-class horses. Connor Swale of Ireland starts with Gamble.
And a tight turning horse is critical to get underway. And this horse would be just that. Some longer gallop stretches later in this round, but let's see if this horse can make that quick turn speed, in evidence.
Yeah, super quick from Connor Swale. Remember, we add 3 seconds here for a fence down, so it's table C, but Connor is really going for it here. Connor Swale will be first in for the Trailblazers. Gregory Watherley will be next in.
Yeah, a nippy turning kind of a horse, but when Connor opens up the throttle, has got gas in the gallop as well. This is good down to the last fence.
Yeah, extremely good. 44.73 is the time for Connor Swale. Nothing to add, of course, gets another clear round. This man's record just gets better and better each time. What a way to kick things off.
That was a tight turn, Hannah, wasn't it? He really charged his arm there into that combination.
Yeah, great turn back. Really getting it going there. And as you say, you've got to take the tight lines, you've got to keep the pace up, and definitely Connor Swale was able to do that here. The world number 20 laying it on the line. Gregory Watherley has been selected to get the team above that cut line. Nevados S, this fantastic horse that we spoke about earlier. And again, we are looking for a clear, but we're looking for the fastest possible round. He's using Nevados's quite large stride here.
Yeah, it's deceptive.
Great ground cover. Angles through the double.
Yeah, the exit line was brilliant.
Ooh, great angle at that BMW upright as well. A master in action.
Yeah, and instinctively it feels like a similar sort of pace as Connor Swale. But he's quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. 42.05 for Gregory Watherley. As you say, it was pretty deceptive, and he was slicing those fences. We just have an amended time there for Gregory Watherley of 46.05.
Aha. Okay, so actually very okay, yeah.
So pretty close.
Makes a little bit more sense. So not as deceptive as I thought. Okay.
No, I mean, still some great slices over the fences there. 90.78 is the overall time, the combined time for the Trelawney Trailblazers, and it will certainly be interesting to see how this plays out. Just going to get that score for the Trailblazers confirmed for you, because I believe it was actually a fence added for Gregory Wathley, so 45.05 is the score for him, which gives them 89. 89.78.
It missed my radar as well, Hannah. I was watching quite intently. I didn't see the knockdown, but okay.
So Jordan Coyle is up next with 4 gold. They were quick in round 1.
Where's your money going here? Is Jordan Coyle going to go for absolute broke here? Got a funny feeling.
I think Jordan Coyle is not going to leave anything spare here. He is so quick. He can move for gold on so quickly.
Maybe slightly wider in the line down to that blue and white oxer.
Yeah,
but then
definitely.
a very quick getaway to the Bernardo vertical.
That is so quick across the ground there. This is where he really makes the difference. That's where he really saves the time. It's just sheer speed.
Yeah, I thought Connor turned tighter into the double, but I'm thinking for gold he's going quicker over the ground.
This is foot to the floor stuff from Jordan Coyle. Ooh, a rattle, but the fence is still up. And over the last 42.44, nothing to add for Jordan Coyle. What a round. Great to see him getting the double clear here, but 42.44. That's our fastest time yet.
Yeah, and a good chunk, isn't it? 2.3 seconds. He carves out of Connor Swale, his fellow Irishman's time. Brilliant from Jordan Coyle. We would expect nothing less.
Shane Sweetnam is the next rider in for the Spy Coast Spies, the spearhead of the team with R.R. Combella. You were saying earlier what a great combination, what consistent pair this is. And as we've said before, the Spy Coast Spies are yet to finish on the podium, so if they can stay above the cut line, it would very much be their best result of the season so far. And Shane Sweetnam is certainly the man to do it.
He looked ice cold before he got underway. This 9-year-old mare bred in Argentina. It's a conservative start. Yes, it would be on a 9-year-old. Will he start to crank up the pace, or will he just get this mare safely home? Crank it up.
Yeah, a bit more pace there. a little careful early on. But, you know, he's
it's
always
a first season, Hannah. It's incredible, isn't it, though, to be here at all.
Yeah, really outstanding. Again, pretty good turn back here. And he's still getting away from the fences very, very quickly. It won't quite be on Jordan Coyle's pace, but it will be 44.26, and it will be a clear. So nothing to add again. That's for Shane Sweetnam. And so their team score is 86.70. That's an extremely good time, and I think that could be quite tough to beat. They are
mastered his art, but he really didn't have a huge kind of window of opportunity on a 9-year-old. That was really precise from Shane Sweetnam.
More than 3 seconds faster than the Trelawney Trailblazers. And so 2 teams still to come. 86.7 is the team time to beat at the moment. And the Crusaders will be the next team in to tackle this. Well, the Trailblazers will still be looking to finish above the cut line, of course, as well. They've actually been in the top 4 in every single leg so far. They've been on the podium 5 times, and they've had 2 wins. Very, very consistent team. Very, very strong results, but a really strong lineup as well. They are the team
so
that are...
success. Sorry, Hannah. Successive 9-year-olds to come back to back. This horse, I think, has got a longer stride than Shane's horse. Nicholas Pizarro, we welcome forward for the home nation.
Yep, Nicholas Pizarro is the first rider in for the Crusaders. And with Patricio Pascal following him, they save Cian O'Connor for the medal matchup. Nicholas Pizarro takes a deep breath there. Chaco, SM and PS. All of these riders were clear in round one. I imagine he's taking a deep breath because he knows that he needs to be around about 43 seconds in order to be competitive here and to help the Crusaders stay above the cut line. Could be a big day for them.
Yeah, we talked about bravery at the start of this round, and this is going to be huge bravery that we will hope to see from Nicholas Pizarro on a young horse. Off he goes. It's a tight turn.
Nicholas quick through the double. This doesn't feel as fast as some of those other rounds.
I think it's a very similar tale to Shane we just saw with R.R. Combella from Nicholas Pizarro.
Comes just with quite a measured approach down to the last, but 46.62 is certainly not a bad time. It's just a few seconds off the pace of those riders from the Spy Coast Spies. And we'll be doing a quick bit of maths for you, of course, just to see what they need to do.
Yes, I think fair to say that on a young horse, again, they're so valuable, these wonderful equine athletes. You just don't want to come in and torch a young prospect's confidence. So that is what, again, that sort of tightrope that both Shane and then Nicholas Pizarro were walking across.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you've got to be a little bit sensitive to the horses' ages, but, you know, it's such a competitive event, this, and they're all really keen to get the points and get the good results. In order for Patricio Pascal to take the Crusaders ahead of the Trelawney Trailblazers, he needs to be faster than 43.16 seconds. That would really be going some. Alicia Santa Rosa is is the ride for him.
And another 9-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Good few young horses in here. A lot of younger talent.
This is fast, isn't it? Chances it down to the Bonauto vertical. Oh, the getaway is lightning.
Ooh, needs to be a bit careful here. We don't want to lose the control. Oh, and a fence down for Patricio.
Yeah. You saw the writing on the wall.
So the score, the timer there has ticked up to include his 3 seconds. Yeah, as you say, you know, the pace was up and they were just getting a bit unsettled coming to that fence. He just slightly eases off the pace. 45.42 is going to be his total time. That includes, remember, the 3 seconds added for the knockdown, and it gives the Crusaders 92.04 as their team score. Crusaders go below the cut line into 3rd place with 1 team still to go. The Trailblazers are hanging on to 2nd place. They're hanging on to that gold medal matchup. They just keep coming back strongly every time we see them. Spy Coast Spies stay at the top. So the Spy Coast Spies are guaranteed a 1st or 2nd place. It will be the best result they have had this season so far. Let's go, though, to Team KPF. Eduardo Menezes with Calypso de Matis.
And if you're a betting lady, Hannah, which I know you're not, where's your money going here?
You can never discount the Trailblazers, but I do think Spy Coast Spies are hungry for a good result. You know, they had a lot of 2nd places last year, didn't manage to get a win, and they're still looking for a podium finish. I think they'll be happy with 1st or 2nd, but, you know, they've got some quick riders. They've got Ashley Vogel in the final spot, but I do think, you know, the Trailblazers have got Niall Nassar as well, so it's hard to call it between those two, but Niall's won the gold medal jump off before for the Trailblazers, so might just clinch it for me.
And are you backing KPF to come back for the gold medal match?
I think we'll wait and see. I think there's some pretty quick times to beat here. Eduardo de Menezes, I'm sure, is going to go for it, though. It's not quite as quick here in the early part. And this is a tricky point, you know, over that Benote upright. They've got to very quickly turn back on themselves.
I'm sort of sitting on the hedge here about how, or on the fence hand, about how quick he is. I'm a little bit undecided. I think he's pretty swift here somehow.
Oh, fence down. 1 down for Eduardo de Menezes. There goes the 3 seconds added into his time. Making his debut for the team. 47.23 is going to be his time in total. Oof, there's a way to go now for Natalie Dean, but she can be quite quick as well. I certainly wouldn't discount her.
But again, it just speaks the volumes about the pressure this afternoon, because as a Rio Olympian, an 11-year-old gelding, so you know, you think things would be on their side for a really good performance. They started very well, but that's as you were saying, that quickly this great Major League show could drop out of your fingers.
Yeah, exactly, and a fence down really makes a lot of difference here. So Natalie Dean is the second rider in this second round for Team KPF. She's trying to get them ahead of the Trelawney Trailblazers. In order to do that, she needs to be faster than 42.55 seconds. If she manages that, she'd be at the time of around about the time of Jordan Coyle. She's got to go really quick.
Yeah, .com, .3, a little bit of airtime. Oh no, that is airtime, Hannah, of the wrong type, isn't it? Oh my word.
Oh goodness, what a shame for Natalie Dean. Oh my goodness me, she was going for it, but sadly parts ways with .com .3. Well, that's a shock. That's just not what Team KPF would have wanted. Oh, you really have to feel for them. What a pity.
Thankfully, it looked like quite a light fall out the side door, so we haven't got pictures of Natalie, but I'm thinking she'll be up on her feet briskly, I'm hoping.
Yeah, good to see .com Dorthui very much well and on his feet.
And again,
yeah,
Hannah, the shifts, isn't it incredible, because that, you know, that's a pair that won the Traverse City leg of the Major League competition just back in mid-September. So the roller coaster ride, we see it once again.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a tricky time for Team KPF, and certainly a real shame for it not to be Natalie Dean's day here today. Sadly, it will be an elimination as the overall score for Team KPF, but they will still keep 4th place. That will be their 3rd top 4 finish and valuable points to add to their tally as well. Well, the medical team are just attending to Natalie Dean, just helping her to dust herself off and head out of the ring. But it will be 4th for Team KPF. And therefore that, I believe, will result in 3rd place for the Crusaders.
Yep. And I don't like to blow my trumpet, Hannah, but I went against the odds of Spike Coast Spikes. They've not been informed this year, but they are going to get their first podium finish. I'm glad I stuck my neck out. I like the look of the team, the 2 Irishmen, along with young gun Ashley Vogel. So I'm feeling a little bit happy about my instinct.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you were on the money there, Ed. Spyco Spies having that great performance. It is going to be a gold medal matchup between the Spyco Spies and the Trelawney Trailblazers, and that's what we'll see in round 3, excuse me. We're just going to confirm the format for you for round 3, and I believe it will be 3rd place for the Crusaders, but we'll just confirm that for you when we have that information.
And Hannah, once again, compelling sport. We, of course, sad to see the fall for Natalie Dean, but we've been kept very much on the edge of our seats, if not occasionally dropping off them.
So we now have word that, in fact, we will still have a bronze medal matchup. Of course, in the medal matchups, the scores are discounted once again. So we will have Zoe Conter coming back for Team KPF to go for bronze, who will be pitted against the Crusaders' Cian O'Connor. Those two will go for bronze. And then for the Trailblazers, we'll have Niall Nassar going up against Ashley Vogel of the Spy Coast Spies. So you needed to get above the cut line in round 2 to get into the top 2 to go for gold. So we'll bring you the bronze medal jump off first, again, which is Team KPF against the Crusaders. Ed, who would your money be on here? It's going to be Zoe Conter versus Cian O'Connor, head-to-head, if you like, of these two teams.
Well, Zoe Conter is very young, but she rode beautifully in the first round, but I can't believe she can overpower Cian O'Connor with his mileage. I'd love to see it, but I would be surprised, but I wish her very well.
Yeah, it'd be great to see Zoe coming back for Team KPF. Despite that elimination, we will indeed be having a bronze medal jump-off between Team KPF and the Crusaders. Team KPF looking for another podium finish. They've had 2 podium finishes so far. And the Trailblazers and Spy Coast Spies looking to go for gold.
And a word out to our course designer, Anthony D'Ambrosio, has built a wonderful course, which is, again, you know, he is the sort of the generator of the action.
Yeah, but a great course built here. It's established a top 4 in this competition. Only a couple of teams finishing on a clean sheet, those being Team KPF and the Crusaders. But that's what's so interesting about this competition. Even though those two were the best of round 1, we do see them coming forward to go for bronze. Well, the first horse for round 3 will be coming into the ring in just a few moments' time. But it's a great lineup. And Ed, certainly an exciting competition as we head towards the final. This, of course, being the penultimate leg before the team final.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and I loved watching the tactics. I just hark back to Crusaders with that brilliant, clear plan their team captain had laid out. That was predetermined, and it's paid off beautifully. And yeah, we wait to see what happens here between Cian and Zoe. It's a huge gulf of experience that separate these two.
Yeah, really interesting matchup. As you say, an enormously experienced competitor in Cian O'Connor going up against the young talent of Zoe Conter. But, you know, she was very strong in round 1, being one of those 3 clears for the team. Cian O'Connor also jumping clear for the team. It's all about speed here. We need to keep the fences up to make sure that we don't add the 3 seconds. Again, in round 3, we're looking for the fastest time and 3 seconds added for a knockdown.
But yeah, Zoe Conter looked brilliant in the first round, and she's cutting her teeth at the Major League, so maybe she comes back in with a real rush of blood and can do something remarkable. Let's really hope so.
Well, we're just taking a look back here at some of the highlights from round 1. Great to see some of those new faces on the team, and great to hear from some of those as well earlier on in the week. Always exciting to see the new additions following that mid-season transfer window, just to see which riders can be added to these very 2 of those going for bronze and 2 of those going for gold. Zoe Conter is going to be the first rider in. Team KPF finishing 4th in round 2, but they do still come through to round 3. Zoe Conter riding La Una. In a way, Ed, it's probably a good thing that she's able to go first here. She can just stick to her own plan. She can just go with what she thinks is the right approach here without being bothered by watching the rider that goes before her.
Yeah, that's a perfect summary. I think it will help her. She would have been kept shielded anyway, but I just think knowing that she, you know, doesn't need to be blinkered as to what Cian has done, she can just come in and give it some sort of, you know, hopefully youthful abandon and take a big scalp down this afternoon. Let's watch and wait.
KPF just 6 points behind Team Eye Candy, and Eye Candy are finishing in 8th place today. So 3rd place could shake things up there. Really interesting to see the season standings following this leg.
Yes, exactly. And this mare, she's just flown in from Spain, was down in Verhaer late October. So let's hope the air miles aren't weighing heavy in her feet.
So he gets a good slice across fence 14, that new fence there.
She's ramped it up as a conservative start. Zoe Conte not going for bust out there, understandably.
It's a nice clear. It's 45.72. It's not the fastest time that we've had, but it's a solid performance from Zoe Conte. Certainly a very nice round, pretty measured approach, keeps the rhythm up consistently all the way around the course, but she's got Cian O'Connor coming behind her, who will be hot on her heels and looking for bronze for the Crusaders.
Yes, exactly. Just 25 years of age. I think that was calculated somehow, not maybe thinking about beating Cian O'Connor, but just saying, look, let's just get a secure round on the board. Let's hope Cian has a number of rails down. He'll go quickly, we're pretty sure anyway.
Yeah, he can be a super fast rider. Again, a real treat to see some of these stars in action. Cian O'Connor very much one of those. Just checks his girth, making sure absolutely everything's in order before he sets off at a pace, I'm sure.
You'd think it would have been done outside, Hannah, but maybe a nervous twitch, maybe a sort of, you know, an OCD. We don't know, but let's see what he can do.
Clown of Picobello Z then, with Cian O'Connor going for bronze for the Crusaders.
Former Abdul side ride. 2 years with Abdul. Brand new partnership, first 5-star competition. Could that favour in Zoe Conte's direction? I'm fancying the Irishman at the moment.
Yeah, this is looking very quick. Again, a great slice at the BMW upright at 14. He's really quick across the ground here as well. Time to beat is 45.72. All very quick. He's really sitting down and driving down to the last fence. Oh, a fence down. It's gone. That final fence is gone for Cian O'Connor.
Wow.
My goodness me, it was 44.59, but we've got 3 seconds to add in there.
It wasn't quite as quick as we thought, Hannah. It was only 3/4 and then the last fence goes. So Zoe Conte, I said calculated, I didn't realise just quite how calculated it was. That was a long takeoff distance.
Yeah, absolutely incredible there. Cian O'Connor was really going for it, but that final fence has caused him problems and has cost the Crusaders their podium finish. They've only been on the podium once this year, and they're not going to do it again. 2 top 4 finishes though, and now a 3rd. So the Crusaders will finish in 4th place. Cian O'Connor's fence down, causing them to drop out of 3rd. Zoe Conte though, as you say, very measured round, and she clinches 3rd place for Team KPF. Quite the change of fortune for that team. But here we go then, it's the gold medal jump off. We are going for gold. We're going for the win here. Ashley Vogel up against Niall Nassar. Niall Nassar will come first with Jiminy Cricket. And Ed, he's been in this position before for the Trailblazers, and he's won the gold medal jump off before.
Yes, I'm also finding it hard to bet against Niall Nassar. But yeah, another young gun, 22 years of age, not 23 like Zoe, but let's see whether the young generation can win both gold.
And certainly not on landing as well. He's quickly away from the fences. They're all staying up for Niall Nassar. And he does indeed keep all of the fences up. 46.24 is his time, Ed. Not the fastest we've seen.
No, it was effortless horsemanship from Nar Nassar, but I feel the door is a little bit open. It's certainly ajar for Natalie Dean to come now. And yeah, it's fascinating.
Well, 46.24 the time to beat then for Ashley Vogel. She only joined the Spyco Spies this year. Ceres van het Mooshoff is her ride, and they'll be the final combination heading into this competition, the final rider. She's trying to get a win. It will be the first win for the Spyco Spies in 2 seasons. And that really would be something. They were very much the bridesmaids in 2022. And it's already a great day for Spyco Spies, but a win would be something special.
Yes, we sit very tight, and I skipped a bad beat there saying Natalie Dean. Of course, Ashley Vogel, 22 years of age. Sweet Oak Farm in Wellington. Shane Sweetnam and Chris Pratt, her trainers. It's going to be fascinating now with Ceres van het Mooshoff, this 11-year-old. She looks fairly relaxed at the start, but no doubt the rain's trickling down. That's not the accurate picture.
Getting a good rhythm up, heading to fence 1. Quickly away, she knows what she needs to do. Ooh, she gets close into fence 2 though. Gets a deep shot.
A little bit hairy, Hannah, but I think we're quicker. Not quite as smooth as Niall, but okay.
Oh, Ashley Vogel, she goes for the tighter line. She goes for the tight turn into the BMW fence, tries to slice it, and Ceres van het Mooshoff just says, unfortunately, that's not the spot for me. Oh my goodness, Ed, this is a bit of a shock. It's not what she would have wanted here.
No, we really feel for Ashley Vogel. It's a nightmare because, yeah, I mean, there was a few little ruffles, wasn't there, on the surface prior to that refusal, but the pressure Niall's put on, it was effortless, but we know, yeah, he's an Olympian, and it's a tall order.
Yeah, the pressure really was on Ashley. Oh, what a pity. As you say, you really do feel for her. It's just unlucky. You know, you have to go for it, and go for it she did. But unfortunately, 74.28 is not going to clinch them the win. Spyco Spies still will look for a win in the Major League Show Jumping team competition. We just see that problem for Ashley again, but good to see them clearing it the second time. But it will be a win for the Trailblazers, the team that have been so strong so far this season. Take yet another win. Second place for Spyco Spies, third for Team KPF, and fourth for the Crusaders.
Well, our hearts go out to Ashley Vogel. That was a heart-stopping moment for all of us, and no doubt she'll have to recover a little bit after that. Quite abrupt refusal, trying to angle. She had to angle to try and get ahead of Nar Nassar, but we certainly, our hearts go out towards Ashley. And yes, well done to the Trelawney Trailblazers. Quite brilliant, their performance. Connor Swale, Gregory Wathele. New onto the team, Gregory with his wonderful Olympic horse from Tokyo, Nevados S. And Nar Nassar, what a cool round to anchor their victory here in Monterey La Silla. We'll have a little look again at the wonderful exhibition of Nar Nassar. But again, this huge talent, Nar Nassar. What a wonderful career he's built. Tokyo Olympics 24th, 2 World Championships. He cut his teeth actually at the World Equestrian Games in Caen in Normandy back in 2014. He was just 23 years of age. That was some baptism of fire at the Worlds. 3 World Cup finals, We saw it go against Connor Swirl with his mileage. And we saw it go to young Zoe Conte, the bronze medal matchup, but the gold medal match is a tale of experience over youth, and well done to Nassau, well done to the Trelawney Trailblazers. They win the Cabana Coast team competition here in Monterey La Silla. On a grey day, the Trelawney Trailblazers can certainly ignite the Mexican skies after a brilliant effort over this intense format. Well done to Nassau for the brilliant anchor round. And we will go down fairly shortly to catch up with Hannah Robson, who is down with our new champions here in Monterey La Silla, the wonderful Trelawney Trailblazers.
Yes, well, Ashley, hard lines there. Talk us through what's going through your mind.
Well, I started off the course fairly well. She was jumping super. I had a tight turn back to that BMW jump, and I should have just added a little more leg there. We were lucky that we were jumping off for first or second, so hopefully that gets us some points overall. Wasn't our day in the jump off, but I'm really happy with how the team and my horse as well jumped in the first round, so yeah.
And as you say, you know, you were going for it there. You had to, didn't you? Because tell us how the Spy Coast Spies are feeling, because no podium finishes yet, but you must be over the moon with this.
Yeah, I think it was a really great result for us to have. This season, we have been struggling a little bit more, I think, than previous seasons, but I'd say that it's up from here. We still have Thermal to go, and I have a really good feeling that they're going to do really well.
So is that the plan then? A big team to come out for Thermal, you're really going for it, you're climbing up already?
Yes, for sure. Lacey Gilbertson and Daniel Cairns, who aren't here this weekend, they'll be there as well as Cassia will be there as well, so I have a really good feeling.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish. You know, we really feel for you in that round, but congratulations on a great result to clinch second.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, we're going to hear very shortly from our winning rider. Niall Nassar is just going to come over to us just to tell us a little bit how he's feeling following clinching another win for the Trailblazers. Absolutely sensational, and what a team. Niall, let me just hand this to you. Tell us how you are feeling now, because this is the second time you've won the gold medal jump off.
Yeah, great feeling. I have to say the guys set me up brilliantly. With such a strong team like that, I'm just trying to pull my weight, and things kind of broke our way today. I have to say it looked a little grim for a couple of moments there, but we're happy to be able to bring it home.
What do you think gives the Trailblazers the edge?
I think we just have such a high caliber of riders and horses. We try to make it a point to always bring competitive horses with us. I think that's really the main recipe is good riders, good horses, and consistent riding.
And you've had some really good injections of new talent into the team as well. Tell us what it's like to add Gregory to the team this week.
For sure, yeah. I'm a big fan of Gregory's. I've ridden with him on other teams before. So he's just such a great addition, such a great guy and a fantastic rider. And we're lucky to be able to call on him for shows like this.
Well, now we'd love to get you to talk us through your round. If we just get you to take a little look over at the screen over there, we're going to play your round back, and it would be great if you could talk us through it.
Cool.
Talk us through your approach.
Yeah, so this first rollback, Gregory did 7 and Connor did 9, so my idea was to kind of split the difference and get 8, which I think I did. And then this was just a standard 8. I tried not to let him drift out too much. He has a bit of a right fade. Just quick back over to this combination. I knocked this down in the first round, so I didn't want to do it again, but Jimmy had his eyes on it, jumped super high coming out. This was just 8 on the rollback, a little angle to it. This was a 10. This vertical came down quite a bit, so the key was just to set up for it, make sure I check him a little bit off the ground. And then it was really just making sure I jumped these 2 jumps. There was the leave out coming home, which was 7. Jimmy has such a big stride, so I could move up for 4 and then start grabbing him, as you can see there, and he was good to slither over that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for talking us through that. I have to ask you, the Trailblazers, you were the leading team. Now you're still the leading team with more space. Do you have your eye on the season championship?
Absolutely. I think that's been our goal the whole season. We have a cushion right now, and the goal is to try to keep expanding that cushion, because that last team competition is double points, so you never really know what can happen. We're in a great spot right now, but we definitely have to keep it up.
Well, huge congratulations. We can't wait to see you at the final.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Niall. Well, what a performance, another win for the Trailblazers. They've been the better and better for them. They're racing towards the final in the leading position. Do join us again for the final as we head you down to California for the final of Major League Show Jumping.